Galnet News Update, 2nd of November 3308. There's no longer any doubt. The Stargoids are heading to the human-inhabited core systems, with 2 of the 8 Stargoids having come past the California Nebula, past the Witchhead Nebula, and past the Pleiades. They're very clearly heading towards the cluster of stars around Sol. The closest inhabited systems in the bubble to unidentified stellar anomaly number 1 are less than 170 light-years away. There's also very little doubt that the Stargoids are Thargoid technology and that they're hostile. Commanders have repeatedly reported being hyperdicted by aggressive Thargoids when close to the Stargoids, and the Stargoids are leaving a trail of destroyed human spacecraft in their wake. And yet, there's a growing peace movement. Not just the Thargoid cult, but also the Thargoid Advocacy Project, which has commissioned a megaship of peace to negotiate terms with the Thargoids. Its advocate and sponsor, Federal Governor Dalton Chase, hopes that the megaship can demonstrate to the Stargoids just how friendly humans can be. Federal Ambassador Jasmina Halsey has expressed her doubts about whether or not we'll be able to find a common frame of reference with the Stargoids. They may simply not think the same way as us. The Stargoids may not understand, and even if they do, they may not see a reason to negotiate peace. However, argues Halsey, we must at least try to reach an agreement with the Stargoids. If nothing else, we can at least say we tried. Others are less hopeful. Professor Seamus Madigan of Olympus Village University looks to the written records left by the ancient Guardian civilization. They learned to communicate with the Stargoids, but the Stargoids rejected all attempts at peace, choosing instead to attempt to annihilate the Guardians. The Guardians managed to drive the Stargoids back, but in the process destroyed their own civilization. And the host of the Ghastly Past's Icecast, Jaya Chowdhury, believes we've burned our bridges with the Stargoids when we first tried to wipe them out using the mycoid virus 150 years ago, and then again tried to annihilate them using the Proteus Wave weapon in August this year. The common factor in both of these attempts was Caleb Wycherley, also known as Salvation, but the Stargoids seem unlikely to make a distinction between Salvation and other humans. Meanwhile, following the Empire's refusal to consider working together with the Federation and Alliance to reform Aegis to present a united front against the Stargoids, Alliance Deputy Prime Minister Angela Corcoran has failed to secure time to debate her bill to provide funding for a reformed Aegis. Aegis could have formed a bridge between those advocating peace with the Stargoids and those determined to hunt them down. Its former head of research, Professor Albert Tesreau, is keen to understand the motivation of the Stargoids, to communicate with them if possible, and also to be prepared to resist their attack should all other avenues fail. She's been working with engineers Ramtar and Professor Palin, who've been researching the recently discovered unclassified relics, which may provide the breakthrough that'll allow new defences to be created against the Stargoids. She's also been working on understanding the Stargoids' language, with the help of a former Project Seraph test subject. The Empire's refusal to cooperate with the other superpowers includes not just Aegis, but also all forms of military preparation for the coming Stargoid attack. The Alliance Defence Force has been more positive, but even it finds its military leaders split. 3 members of the Council of Admirals, led by Sirius Corporation's Admiral Nicholas Glass, believe that the ADF should remain with its current strategic anti-Xeno partner, the Sirius Corporation, whereas Admirals George Varma, Rachel Ziegler, and Liam Flanagan support Federal Vice Admiral Juno Rochester's concept of a united, glorious Grand Armada to protect the bubble from Stargoids. Ziegler also spoke out in favour of re-establishing Aegis. However, the casting vote, Fleet Admiral Haley Sorokin, has not yet expressed an opinion, deferring the decision to the politicians of the Alliance Assembly. Perhaps the arrival of the Stargoids in the bubble, which is expected within days, will help those like Fleet Admiral Sorokin to make up their minds.